Okay, as you say, I've got some, this calibre is 6.5 by 284. I've been fired about, I would say 7 times. I've been annealed once, but what I'm starting to find is when I seat bullets in them, it takes different amounts of pressure to actually seat the bullet. Some of them will go in nice and easy as they're meant to do. Some of them won't, and they'll take a little bit of force to go in. After some research and actually find out what the problem was, I found out that there's a little donut forming on the inside of the case neck, which is a little build up of brass just on the inside of here. It's on the inside, but that's roughly where the shoulder and neck junction is. I can't show it very well because it's minuscule in relative terms, but it's enough there to actually feel a bit of resistance. It's like to explain it, it's like the neck has been resized a little bit smaller than what the rest of the neck is. So you get a nice smooth seating as you go down the neck. As soon as the bearing surface hits that little donutty bit, you need to actually give the case some force, and that's not right. Problems like that are caused by the flow of the brass upwards as we shoot them, and then continual neck sizing or full end size and pushing the brass back down. The brass won't come outwards because as you fire form it, or as you shoot it, it goes with the least resistance, which is inwards, and you get a little bump ring of brass, which is what they terminology called a donut. I can't show you, as I say, but what I can do is show you how to get rid of it. Okay. Okay, in this first picture here we can see just a hand-drawn picture. It's just representing everything from the case shoulder up into the neck. Okay, this is the area we're going to concentrate on. I just didn't want to overcomplicate things. Okay, so that's the basic, as you could class it as a prime, what that would look like as virgin brass. We're not going to worry about neck sizing and all that at the moment. I'll move on to that and explain how that affects things in due course. So anyway, just this first picture, it's the normal standard case. Moving on to this second picture, you can now see that these green arrows, these show the direction of the brass as it flows when we shoot it. When we take every shot, the brass fractionally moves forward in the case under the inertia, but this will show you how it moves up the shoulder and into the neck. Okay, so you can see that. Okay, the third picture here, you can see the dots on the top of the diagram. These would represent how the case would flow forward, making your case neck slightly longer each time you shot your rifle, you shot your brass. This is an explanation which I won't go into now, but for case length trimming, bring it all back down to the lowest length, which I've covered in other videos. But this is the reaction of the brass going forward. Okay. Moving on to this fourth picture, we've got to the point where we're resizing our brass several times now. The brass is still flowing forward, and we keep knocking it back. When we resize it, when we full end size it, we'll push the shoulders back down and resize the neck. After a while, where you can see the two little red dots in this area, you're going to get a brass build up, and that goes as you resize on the outside, the brass will form and deflect into the inside of the neck, thus resulting in a donut. If you can imagine, this would be a ring completely right round your case neck. This is where the name the donut comes from. Now this affects us in several ways. One of the main considerations we have is when we seat bullets and we push a bullet past, it's like a flat base bullet, which I will show you on in a little while on another diagram. You need to push your bullet past this point in a downward direction. So in reality, you've got your case neck size, and then you're constricting the bullet past the donut. Okay. Another consideration is pressures. Pressure will vary because not all cases will donut at the same extent. Some will have little donuts and some will have greater donuts. I mean, they're not big things in any way, but they're a thickening of the wall of the case neck, like you do on your arteries. If you have fatty foods and all that, you get a constriction, and your blood flow would be inconsistent with exactly the same consequences. So you're going to get obviously pressure differences and velocity differences, elevation differences. So that's that little picture. Just staying with this picture at the moment. I won't draw on this picture, but what we're aiming to do, if you can imagine a reamer coming in at the top of the case. The case at this state is in a fired state, so it's going to be over your bullet seating size, so it'll be hopefully neck chamber size on the outside. What you do is you bring a reamer downwards, and that should ream out the two little red spots, okay, thus resulting in parallel sides again. That's the effect anyway, but I'll show you that. In this picture we can just see how a flat base bullet would seat once it's seated a little bit deeper into the neck. That's how it should look on a nice clean new brass without any donut issues. That should seat properly, seat consistently from case to case with seating pressures, and should, I would have thought, been good to shoot. Same picture again, but with a donut added, as you can see here, where it's going to stress against the case of the jacket of the bullet. So in theory you're resizing the bullet microscopically, and you're not getting a full contact point between the bullet and the bearing surface of the bullet and the case neck. But that's how it would affect a flat base bullet if you seated them deeply. Sometimes you can get over this problem by seating your flat base bullets a little bit further up the neck, so they don't seat as far down as the shoulder. But sometimes with the heavier bullets you can't do that, or with the okay. And this picture here shows you exactly what I'm now talking about. So seating the bullet out a little bit further. It's easier sometimes if you've got a little bit more free bore in your throat. You can seat your bullets out a little bit further. You've got to seat them in far enough. But this flat base here wouldn't be down in the donut region of the neck where one could form. Okay. Moving on to the boot tail design bullet. As you can see, you can seat these a little bit further down. Usually the VLD or the boot tails are a lot slipperier bullet than the more pointy, longer bullets, heavier bullets, longer bullets. So you sometimes need to keep them down in the case. But with the boot tail design, that should hopefully alleviate hitting the donut region. And the last picture in this series just showing how the donut should affect or not affect the boot tail design type bullet. Okay, sometimes you need to seat them down a little bit further, so therefore this all brings us back to the donut removal, which this video is all about. Okay, but here we, just these pictures are only basic, but at least we can see where the donut forms and how it forms. Okay. Okay, the way I remove my donuts when I do get a problem, as I've found in these 6.5 to 8.4 cases, is I'm lucky enough to own a Wilson case trimmer. For this part of trimming, or reaming as it's called, inside neck reaming, I don't need the traditional cutter that comes with it, so we get rid of that. Wilson, the good blokes at Wilson, make what they call an inside neck reamer. What it is a 6-fluted reamer, which is designed to be slightly oversized. I put micrometer on this case, and as it's 6.5, which is 0.264 in imperial, this one measures 0.2655, so it's 1.5 thou over. Okay, so in real terms you'll take 3 thou out of the inside of your neck, so you have to be aware of your neck thicknesses when you do these, that you don't end up with dangerously thin necks. You can special order these to whatever dimensions you like, but they will take a bit of a weight. But I was lucky enough This is a 6.5 and it measures, as I say, 0.2655. Okay. I need the 284 case holder. I take the case that I need doing. Just seat it in there. Clamp it off with the shark fin top. I don't know if you can see this very well, but I'll try and do it from different angles. And just put it in and turn it. Can you see that? I'll take some close-ups in a minute. It's designed, the seating depth is the cut, if you can see that. The cutter will go all the way through. There's a bump stop here which you can adjust the depth of cut, but this is designed just to go through. Another little feature of these cutters, you can't see it on film and I can't take a picture because that's so minuscule. The very leading edge of these, I don't know if that'll focus, there's a very slight taper on there, and they do actually say that when you can use them to chamfer just the inside of the neck. I don't use them, but that's just a feature of the cutter if you want to, dual purposing. But anyway, 2 or 3 turns, and just check them. And there's what you'll notice inside. I'll take some photos and some close-up for you. You'll see a little bright mark where the brass has been reamed and cut back down to a parallel side. Okay, so tap that out. That one's done. Next one, exactly the same. And you're taking out very tiny amounts of brass. Some of them are a little bit stiff to get started, obviously, because the donuts might be slightly bigger than the one previously. Yep, it's fine. Okay, what I'll do is I'll set the camera up and try and get some real close-ups, okay? Okay guys, I'm not sure how this is going to come out, but we'll try a close-up. Okay, so you can just see the micrometer sets the depth. I can make it go in and out. It doesn't matter really because the cutter, as long as it's deep enough, you can see there, it'll cut through beyond the bevel of the reamer. Okay, so that's all locked down. Shark fin goes over the top like that to hold the case holder. Okay, and just feed it in as you turn. 6 sides of the reamer will cut the way through. That wasn't that particularly difficult one. I'll just do another one. Okay, let's see if I can get a bit closer. You'll see the swath come out. Oh, that's not bad. Alright, let's see how we do that. There's a little bit of resistance there. The case is starting to spin, so you have to hold the case. And then I just cut it and cleared it. Alright. Should we push the luck and try one more? Go on then. A little bit force needed on this one. There you go. What it's doing, it looks a bit physical, but what it's doing is obviously the cut is biting into the brass. Right. Not sure if you're going to get this on camera. No, I'll take some still photos. I can't get the light right to see inside the case. I can't show you what the donuts look like because they're all carbon inside, so you'll have to take my word for it, but I should be able to show you what the after effects is looking like. I think that's basically it. Them cases, now they've been reamed, will go on to be neck sized and shoulders bumped back if I need to, cleaned. What I will do is I will re-anneal them for the sake of doing it. I've got the annealer, as you know. I'll do it. It's not a long process. I'll do it. It doesn't hurt. And then I'll reload them and go and make some bangs. Okay guys. Right, you can see just in these 2 or 3 pictures here, if you look closely, just at about 4 or 5 mil down inside the neck, you'll just see a slight bright spot where the brass has been reamed out. That's where the donut has been removed. Okay guys, it's not the easiest subject to cover, and I think I may come back and cover this one again. So if you've got any questions or bits you want added into the sort of like the second part to this film, give us a shout out, and I'll try and get your information that you require involved. I'll also move on to show you how to prevent the donut building up in the first place. Okay guys, cheers, thanks.